She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Susie, also known as Fitsussie, and thank you for joining me in this video. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So today I'm going to be talking about calories. I know I get a lot of questions about if it's important to count calories, if you need to count calories to lose weight, and all sorts of questions about calories and macros. So I'm here to give you a little bit of my knowledge and what I did for so long. If you're new, I have lost 100 pounds, and it's been about 10-11 years since I lost them. So I did count macros for a really long time, so I know a lot about macros, and I am a personal trainer and a nutrition specialist. So I'm here to give you my information, my knowledge for my experience. So let's go ahead and begin. So let's start off by saying that when I started my journey, I started wrong. I started to cut a lot of calories, and I became obsessed with just being skinny and losing weight. I got super thin. I lost 100 pounds, but I was still really unhappy. So I decided to reverse diet, which means I had to repair my metabolism because I messed it up for under eating so much. So I had to start increasing calories and carbs and healthy fats little by little to be able to fix my metabolism, which I want to say it's fixed now. I had like a lot of eating disorders, so I worked on it, and finally I feel like I fixed it. So I did count macros. When I started my weight loss journey, I wasn't sure what calories were. I would just get like the 100-pack like snacks and stuff. So I wasn't really sure how to count macros. I learned within time. I discovered macros, which, if you don't know what macros are carbs, protein, and fat, which that's what makes a calorie. So weight loss is calories in versus calories out. We all burn a certain amount of calories by just living, by not doing anything. So if you want to lose weight, if your goal is to lose weight, you have to eat less than those calories. And if you want to gain weight, build muscle, you have to be in a surplus, which is eat more than those calories. You do have to go to a professional to help you figure out your macros. We all have different macros. We all require different calories and macros because we have different heights, different goals, different body weight, different it all depends how active you are. I do coaching. If you're interested, you can always email me, but I do recommend counting macros just because it's important to know what a serving size looks like. That's what I learned when I was counting macros. I learned because when you're counting macros, you need to measure and eat exact portions so you can log it into your app. I use my FitnessPal. I'm not sponsored, but that's what I've been using my whole life, and not my whole life. That's what I've been always using, and I think is really, and I really like it. I'm used to it. So in order for you to track and log in the food, you must measure and weigh in. Weighing in is a bit more accurate than just measuring. So I do recommend for you to do it at least for like a few months, just so you can kind of later on kind of tell just by looking what a portion looks like. Now I feel like I don't need to weigh anything, or I can just guesstimate because I did it for so long, and that I feel like I can eyeball things now. Serving size, I know what a serving size looks like. So I do think it's important to kind of know serving size, because that's one of the main issues that I would have when I was overweight, was just not caring what a serving size looked like. If I was more hungry, I would get more food, and I just would eat a lot at once. Also, I do recommend that you start reading nutrition facts. It's super important, so you know what you're putting into your body. I know I preach a lot of like balance and don't restrict yourself, but I also like to look at what I'm putting into my body. This is the only body we have to take care of it. So I recommend that you look and see what a nutrition label looks like and what you need to look at. I am mostly focused in fat, protein, and carbs because obviously that's what I'm tracking, my macros. So there's a percentage that I have to hit every day in order to know, in order for me to know that I'm staying on track and I'm getting the nutrients or for my goals that I want or need. So I always look at nutrition facts. So let me give you an example. Well, here is a protein bar. This is the Built bar, and this is one of my favorite protein bars. I love it because it's high protein and it's a really good snack to just carry around with you. I know I'm always talking about them, but I am obsessed, so that's why I'm always showing you guys this protein bar. So let me look at the nutrition facts just to kind of show you guys an example. So this protein bar is 150 calories, 19 grams of carbs, 17 protein, and 3.5 fats. So that's what I look at when I look at this. Also, I recommend, a lot of foods have nutrition facts for like a serving. A lot of people think, oh, it's for the whole bag. You have to make sure you see that it's a one serving or how many servings there is, or sometimes it's for like half of the whatever the food is, which is crazy. So you have to be careful with that. You might be thinking that you're eating less, but you're actually eating double. So always pay attention to nutrition facts, super important. And my tips for you is for you to make sure you hit your protein goal first, because it's, I could say, it's one of the hardest ones to hit. Carbs and fats are really super easy to hit. So I recommend that you start your day with high protein, and you make sure you're eating protein throughout the day. I like to, every meal, at least have a little bit of each macronutrient to make sure that I'm not super short at the end of the day for like a certain macro, and I have to like eat, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of it, just because I didn't just eat it throughout the day. So I like to, now it comes naturally when I eat, like when I serve my food. I honestly just look at my food like protein, carbs, and fats. I'm just used to it now. As the more you do it, the more it's gonna be common sense for you, and you're gonna be able to do it without actually weighing in food and measuring. Because I understand, you know, like we can't be measuring everywhere we go. But if you want to be sure to not go over your macros and to not go over your calories, I do recommend that you track if you're very serious about weight loss. I feel like it's super effective. I like to log in everything at the end of the day, just to make sure that I'm eating enough, that I'm not lacking on protein, and just to see where I'm at. That's what I recommend. Also, tracking macros, you can actually fit in foods that you're craving. Obviously, I would tell you, like, if you're craving something, try and make it into a healthier version. But if you just want to eat something that you just don't want to make it into a healthier version, you can still track it in your macros, and you can work your day around it. Obviously, I'm not telling you go eat junk food every day and fit it into your macros. Fast food and like junk food tend to be super high in fat and carbs, so you won't have much to eat around the day. It's gonna take a lot of your calories intake for the day, and it doesn't really fill you up, in my opinion. So I try to limit that, but if I'm craving something, I'll have it and I track it in so I can work my day around it. Obviously, I would have to try and eat higher protein throughout the day and lower fat and carbs, because I know that certain food that I'm going to eat is higher fats, and I don't go super over my macros. I hope I'm not confusing you guys, but those are just the little tricks that I use to make sure I hit my macros every day. It's not perfect every day. Sometimes I go over for like 10 grams, which is fine, you know. It's not every day will be perfect, but I do feel like it's effective to learn your portions, to track your food, to make sure you're not going over, and you know how to tell portions just by looking at them, and to know what you're putting into your body. I feel like it's a really good connection with you and your body, and knowing how much you're giving yourself. And I was explaining this to my sisters a couple of days ago. They wanted to learn about macros, they want to count macros, because they feel like they can stay more on track, and they have control about what they're eating and stuff. So I was explaining basically how I can explain macros is like, let's pretend I'm giving you $20 for the day. Those are your calories. So you have to manage. You can't go over, you can't spend more than this, you can't go negative. You have to manage those $20 throughout the day, which would be the calories and macros. So it's kind of like a game. Like, you have to know, you know, how much you're gonna spend for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for snacks, just to make sure you don't overspend or you overeat. And it's pretty common sense, you know. At first it's gonna be hard to know what's a protein, what's a carb, what's a fat, which is the first thing that I recommend you to do, to learn what a protein is, carbs, and fats, because they're all different groups. They're all important. We need them all. So So I think you should probably do your research of what's protein, what's carbs, and what's fat, and try and figure out your macros. You can download the app. It's gonna ask you a bunch of questions to give you your macros, but honestly I feel like those are incorrect. They give you super low protein. I know they recommend 1 gram of protein per body weight, but obviously if you're overweight you're not going to be eating that many grams of protein. So I would reach out to someone to try and figure out your macros. You can always email me, and again, you don't have to do this forever. I'm not telling you you have to count macros forever, because you have to be realistic. You're not going to be measuring food your whole life, but it's just for you to get into a habit, a different lifestyle of knowing what you're eating. I used to eat whatever, and obviously that's why I was overweight. Now that I have control over my food, I feel healthier. I feel like I'm actually giving myself, you know, good nutrients, versus before it was just junk food. I'm pretty sure I was just eating fats and carbs, really bad fats. Not that fats are bad, there's healthy fats that obviously they're good for you, but I know that I feel better now. And so yeah, a lot of you guys ask me about macros, calories. Is it important? Do you have to track it? You don't have to track it if you don't want to. You can still lose weight. You just have to kind of figure out, you know, how much you should be eating. Don't starve yourself, but don't overeat. You just have to kind of find that middle where you are losing weight while eating good and nourishing your body. So I think that's it for this video. If you guys have any more questions about macros, nutrition, please, you can go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Any other inquiries, you can always email me, fitsussie@gmail.com. All my links are going to be in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching, for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for always being supportive to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.